Hello, I'm so bad. I just, I had like the longest possible, not really rant, because it was weirdly well formatted, especially for a rant, to myself, that was so perfect, just like half an hour ago, to myself with no one watching, and I really wished that I could have recorded or even it or recorded anything with that much confidence and clear points. But I feel as though in the yeah, I'm so bad at speaking. I'm probably this audio probably isn't even gonna get anywhere. Um, you're bad at speaking into a mic specifically, didn't. But anybody watching? So there's been a problem that I've noticed community, or maybe not. Such a, I guess kind of is a problem, but no, it's not such a problem as it is a something I've noticed over the years that I've been a part of it, watching the community grow, knowing way too many of the mods that come out, and remembering an absurd amount of them when I see them, for being someone who's played so few and who mostly just sticks to Osumania. I have followed the fandom way too far and often, but more than most people who call themselves FNFA. But I've noticed, the point is that I've noticed something in the community, which is that I've noticed problems with with the people in the community and the community as a whole to some extent. That there is a common problem of, well, pride and ego and pride. It has, it's just, how can I speak? It's gone through like like the every person that I've met in the FNF fandom has, I guess it's people in general, but they've had at least some degree of pride and ego being the main motivator for their actions. And it can be hard to really notice at first, but it's really ingrained, even into like when you look at visuals and how often characters are described and feeling. There's just a vibe to it, you know, and of that is where it's so greatly associated with that fire inside and that excitement for playing the game and for beating whatever foe and for having challenges and overcoming those challenges with this pride and ego that comes along with it. And where is I going? I forgot everything. Maybe I should do scripts. Um, nah, I'd be so lazy. It would take me 7 days to finish a script of 200 words. But uh, the major part of the problem is that when I play with people in this fandom, they, I, there's always all these tryhards all over the place, and who are always told that they're good, who always have so much affirmation, who have beaten so many things, and they've and it has built up their ego to such a degree that that is part of the entire reason why they play every day now and why that they are so excited to play the game and show off their skills to all their friends, and then they will genuinely think from all these things from all these other players that constantly affirm how good they are and how they're better than everyone else. They will genuinely think they are some of the best rhythm game players out there. And then when when that falls, when someone beats them, someone who's much better than them and has played for much longer in much more official games that have existed for far longer, so they would even have much more time to play, and beats them, I have seen it shatter on so many occasions, this ego, to such a degree that it's really sad. And the players who once had a fire inside and were once honestly really annoying with like a lot of a lot of really bad opinions from tryhards. I'm just gonna say that with how they think, what they think is good charting, what they think is a fair mechanic that they want to make people deal with in a mod. Just generally terrible balancing issues and expectations. But it's generally bad opinions in general with all sorts of things. And then but all this confidence will in themselves and just in them being big try hard person who can do it and do and beat anything no matter the task or challenge, they'll do it eventually. It when that falls just to someone beating them in a multiplayer game that happened to be a lot better than them, it falls hard. And I've seen so many people go from this like kind of annoying but like confident energy who plays the game all day every day to just completely quitting the game and removing any trace that they ever played rhythm games from any of their from anything that says anything about them, any social anything. It's just they just completely quit and don't keep up with the community or the games anymore, and hardly even want to talk around around any of the places that they used to, and it will all just be because someone was better than them, because they genuinely believed they were the best thing since sliced bread. And once it was proven that there are people better than them, it didn't matter that they are better than so many tens of thousands of people or even hundreds of thousands of people. It doesn't matter how many people they're better than just because a couple people happen to be better than them who they met the other day. And they will, and it shows just how much that ego and pride is a major factor to people wanting to be in this community and wanting to continue playing when not when that not constantly being affirmed and there being someone better than them is all it takes to make them no longer find any joy in it. Like, come on, man. You can't even find the joy of playing the rhythm game to play the rhythm game, to listen to the nice music, to hit the buttons well and correctly timed to what you're hearing, to challenge yourself further, to improve, to just generally vibe. Like, how are all of those things, how do they have to be so tied directly in with your confidence? Suddenly knowing that someone is better than you and that there are more steps to take and that you may never even reach them, does that really mean you should never enjoy that mean that all of what you've done so far had no purpose and meaning and that you had no reason to enjoy it on your own and can't enjoy it anymore? That was all it took? And yet I've seen it happen firsthand a lot because I've caused it for a lot of people. Some on purpose, others on accident. Some, they were just really annoying, overconfident kids who I was like, oh, I'll just beat them at like everything then, and then show them all the stuff that I make that has like 3 times the note counts of what they play. It's like that sounds really mean now that I think about it. I probably could have worded it better, but it's like sometimes you just meet someone who is just really not a good person and they really think they're better than everyone, and you're like, and it's just like, but you know they just aren't, and sometimes you kind of feel like you have to knock them down a peg or two. And then there are other people where I wasn't trying to do this to them at all, and really I just wanted to play with them. I thought they were kind of chill for the most part, and I just wanted to have someone to play games with, someone who could be good enough that they could even have some fun, even if some struggle on some of the things that I've made. And then it ended up with them quitting. A lot of them quitting. Actually, I can hardly think in gaming in general, I can hardly think of someone who I have played a game with and been any better than where they didn't quit purely based, like they will like tell me and talk about it all the time, where it was like purely based off of I have so much higher stats and playtime than them that they just didn't feel like it would be any fun to play, and it just felt like I don't want to do all that and to be at that level. I'm not immediately at your level. Well, then I guess I won't play at all and won't be at any level. It's just like, huh? No enjoyment of slow overtime progress and seeing new areas and cool new things and not even care about story of anything. It's like, man, you like for some of these people it's like you barely just started and you're already just like, no. And then other people, you've been at it for a while and you're going to quit that quick cuz someone's better than you. It's like I don't know. I don't particularly like doing this to people cuz I don't like that I've caused so many of my friends to just quit rhythm gaming in general when I was never even intending to do so. I like I can hardly even think of any instances where I was outright bragging about anything or really being mean to them. In fact, I think that might be part of why that they so don't want to play with me, actually, is because I'm so casual about it. And they're so used to communities where people are so toxic and have such huge egos and pride when they're better than someone about it, that they're used to that person just being such an annoying little troll that they can just completely write them off and ignore them. But with me, I'm like actually friendly and constantly sharing all sorts of memes and screenshots of jokes and things from my friends and letting them in on all sorts of humor and things I find interesting, and will generally be friends. And then to see someone like that be so casually better than them without being so annoying about it is almost more annoying. I deeply believe this could be the case and could be why that I've had such a high rate of making people quit the game, because it's more depressing that someone who isn't even so who isn't even trying so much to be a tryhard and who isn't rubbing it in anyone's faces is the one who they feel as though they can never hope to aspire up to being at the place of. And it's almost like, and it makes it so that they can't just ignore you and not want to talk to you anymore or try to um have any justification for feeling like you're just an awful person, so who cares if they're better than me. That's just some annoying loser guy that I should try to forget about. Instead, it'll be like, no, that's one of my friends. And so all of a sudden it hits harder. And it's weird how that works. And how many people's egos and pride seem hidden or don't seem that obvious, but are still a main playing major factor to their gameplay and care in the game and in any fandom, really. And has caused so many people, even who are more friendly people, to just not want to play anymore because it was still a deep part of the whole game as a whole, where like it's hard to find someone who plays FNF who doesn't at least have some sort of experience if they actually play it regularly. If they almost never play it, It's because they are totally constantly talking themselves down. If they play it all the time, they all then it always turns out to be it's because they think that they're actually getting pretty good at it and want to, and they just think they're generally good. Like, it's such a weird consistent. I've never seen anyone who plays all the time but constantly talks themselves down and bad about themselves. Those are always the people who don't want to play anymore. And the confident people, they play all the time. And sadly, it is way too easy to ruin that confidence and completely make someone lose faith in a fandom. Then again, there's also like the 7,000 other problems in the FNF fandom with all the, all the children being like just the most infuriating conversations you can possibly have with another human being, even if they're not trying to be, and all the dramas and stuff that I honestly feel like people care too. Like, I guess it's like a children's sensitivity thing or something, or like I don't. I would say something about this decade or something. Sound like a boomer. It's just like I don't know. I feel like every time a drama happens, people take it like way too hard. Like the people who are like closely related to the drama, those could be the people who take it hard. But like okay, another mod leaked, or like someone like or someone was like kind of sucky or something. It's just like, or someone was like 1 year below 18 with someone else who was 18. It was just like boo boo hoo. It's like it's kind of like dramas and things. They're like I've seen them absolutely destroy people. Like I've seen them like it's like that shouldn't have any hampering on your actual gameplay and play, just rate of play and enjoyment with just playing music and looking at cool characters. Like, sure, maybe it could obviously ruin your experience for the mods related to the specific ones that had drama, but it's like I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just ranting. I've been going on for forever. It's just I don't know. There is a lot wrong with this community. I definitely feel like some parts of it are blown out of proportion. Others, surprisingly not. I was thinking about if I should talk about something, but I'm technically still on the mod team for it, so I probably shouldn't talk bad about some things that a certain person is doing I'm completely not okay with, but it's just I guess I'll mention it after it releases if it even does. I'm about to say I've been on so many. I've really not been on so many mod teams. I've only been on like a couple, other than just like the tiniest help um for I basically didn't help. I'm gonna be honest. I basically didn't help Mr. Chichino Wrath. It just I Chinchino, whatever, Cincino, I don't know. But I I gave him the idea for like two sprites, like one joke in a meme song, and and then was the only one who was willing to playtest the master charts for some of the later weeks. Like that's like basically nothing. I don't know. Maybe the playtesting is maybe something, but like he literally changed like one, maybe I think he changed like two songs based on the playtesting advice, and like barely, and that was it. In fact, I had problems. I had like some problems with some of the charts. He just didn't even do anything with it. Just yeah, whatever. It's good enough. At least I think I did. I don't. I think I remember. I think I told him. I don't know, but And then the Blue Mods, I made some charts. I had some decent ideas, so like I helped him with some things. Um, but then other than that, dude, solo devs are the best. I'm gonna be honest. Solo devs have been all of my best interactions have been with solo. I've met a lot of really terrible FNF devs who are just not fun to be around. But like Bluet or Sunfire, Bluet slash Sunfire, and Cecino Wrath, Chino, whatever, is they've just been absolute gems, and I've loved talking to them and seeing all the things that they've been making, and occasionally getting to throw my hat into some sort of participation. But oh yeah, by the way, go play the Blow Up Mania Pack 1. Also, a second one is in the works, but that's gonna take so long because I'm so lazy. Anyways, but yeah, then on other mod team, I am just ranting. You know, sure, podcast time. It's just a random podcast now. Other, what am I talking about? I don't know anymore. I'm just talking to talk. There's so many problems, man. Okay, but like other than that, all the mod teams I've been on have been like people trying to make really big mod teams of just literally anybody, and they all turn out to be a bunch of kids. Like they're all way too young. Like I've been on mod teams where all the people only have like iPads or like phones. Like they just don't even have computers. And and everything sucks. And then so what I would so I was just like, really? This is what we're working. It's like this is not going to go anyway. And so of course I'd quit them shortly after, but it's just like, bruh, this is what I'm working with. This is what I'm charting for. Uh and then one in particular, I guess I shouldn't name it because of the fact that I have problems with the some people. It's dealt with its fair share of incredibly toxic leaks that I don't even understand how someone can bother to care that much to leak a mod like that and to be so mean and toxic. And there was like people paying other people to do it, and it was just like so many words were thrown, and it was all over absolutely nothing, and it was just like every step of the way I was saying and thinking, how bored are these kids? Like, how bored are you people to do something like that? Is a level of boredom never seen before. But yeah, I'll still. It's getting really hard to, but I'll continue to make charts for them, and yeah, I just I don't know. This community can be a lot sometimes. It is really surprising some of the problems you think you won't have to deal with and then actually are completely as advertised as horrible. And then random other things that just are like people hating it to hate it who often don't even have that much to do with the fandom. There's a lot. I feel like every time I hear something bad about the fandom, it's almost always someone who has little to nothing to do with it, with a comments full of people who barely even know anything, who've barely kept any bit up to date with the game and have hardly even tried it, who barely their knowledge mostly consists of the base game and then some random recommended videos that could fuel their hate that they have for FNF kids that was like mostly unfounded, but then just like, they could at least have some like vindication, I don't know what the word is, some kind of like reasoning for it when they saw all the videos about drama that they know nothing about, where they can just comment, yeah, I knew this fandom sucked and that I hated all these people for a reason. This thing I've barely kept the slightest bit up to date with, and I'm not even sure why I dislike anymore. I feel like Yeah, there's just a lot of that on the internet. There's a lot of that on YouTube. I kind of wish it would change. I want to see it videos that are not from commentary YouTubers with nothing to do with the game, and instead people who've actually properly kept up to date with the game. Like people who say they have or are big members of the fandom that try to speak out about something in the fandom, they're like always talking about outdated stuff from like 2 years ago, and they've like hardly kept up to date with any mods in the last year. Like almost no one does anymore, and it's like that's so sad because like honestly, 2023 has been insane for modding. Like as someone who's critical of a lot of things, it's like, and someone who has like always shared some sort of disinterest and dislike for a lot of the old things that everyone really loves in this fandom, even back when they were new, and still today, with it being like all based on actual level of quality and charting and whatever. And just the music was not that good, but it's just like the music has gone kind of wacko. The quality has skyrocketed lately for some mod. I feel like everyone's just looking at all the worst things like as if YouTube only recommends them. But dude, recent OC mods have been insane, and I wish my computer could run them. And they've done so much that's so unique and interesting that's not just random unfair mechanic. And they've had so much of like actual stories. And then the gameplay, the charting is like always good now, or almost always good now. And it's just like people have gone to focusing only on the bad and looking at the bad. And the bad that they think about and focus on is very few of the recent, a lot of the past. And you really have to think about the fact that some problems are obvious problems that exist with the people in general, that mostly just the people who play the game. Honestly, it's the players. It's not even that much the creators. Although some creators really suck, and I have met that through working with them. But it's more like just people sounding and being kind of annoying and having kind of bad opinions. That's like literally it. And that should do nothing to hamper your gameplay on playing the game and your excitement for being able to listen to boppin' tunes and play the video game. It should not ruin your experience in the slightest, because and it's just so many good mods go so unnoticed by even major members of the community, and this huge portion that's been quitting and trying to disappear out of the community over the last couple years. And it's like, no, you're quitting at the good part. You're missing some really good things. And of course, these people would probably go to me and point out all the really bad things, but it's like, dude, just because something really bad exists on something where anyone can make something doesn't mean the good things don't exist. It just means you didn't find the good things. Like, that just be like, at any point in time, you can prove whatever you want to prove by just looking at the wrong mods and looking at things with really stupid premises that are taken weirdly too seriously, that are just really cringe, and be like, "Yep, I knew it. Whole fandom's irredeemable." And it's like, yeah, you of course you could do that at any point of time. If you just like really want to not show off the good parts of the community, and like all the amazing things that people have spent like years creatively building up for their own, like it's mostly OC mods really. Those are good. I'm All the things I'm thinking about that are so good. You got to look at the recent OC mod jam. Look at that. Look at that and tell me that we're in a dark era of FNF and that there's nothing interesting or cool anymore, or that like everything sucks and no one cares about the game anymore. Try saying any of those things. Look at the recent OC mod gem, okay? Look at it. Look at it! Anyways, I don't really know much else to say. My throat is dying. And I honestly really wish on this channel I could be a lot more personal with just people, just fans, even though sadly the vast majority of my fans are like 10. And I wish I was making an exaggeration. I've looked at analytics and I've looked at the people, the accounts that have subbed to me. I am now remembering and realizing no one's going to watch this video. And anyone who does is going to barely have comprehension of the words I'm saying. I really wish my fan base was older. Not like, oh, only mature stuff. Let's play funny, super violent games and sexual things and grr, kids exist. I hate kids. It's like, no, it's more, I wish they were more of like anywhere in the teenage range instead of literally toddler. Like someone who could at least have some sort of appreciation or occasional like good opinion. You know, like that's kind of where I'm at. I you know, I really need more sentient viewers. And I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. In fact, I don't think I'm going to really do anything to care enough to try and get that to be the case, because I feel like I want to make the content that I want to watch. I want to play the songs that I like and find interesting, and that's pretty much it. I don't necessarily want to just randomly do any harsh decisions or change the direction of my channel in any way just because my viewers happen to be a surprising amount of infants. And I'm not talking about personality-wise or as like a cruel, mean thing to say. Once again, I literally mean like by the actual statistics. Like, I've hardly even had an interaction with anyone to even really have anything I can say good or positive about my viewers. It's just, I'm just stating a literal age fact. But, yeah, I'll just keep doing what I want to be doing, and one thing I am hoping is that I can get across more of my personality in videos. I can talk more. Uh, Hopefully I can show off the more stupid, goofy, crazo, Mimo side of myself. Just skip it about it, you know. And I don't know if it will ever happen. I don't even know if I'll really be able to show much to anyone of all my creativity, of the connections that I've made, the cool people I know that other people might not know I know, or how really I love the non-rhythm gaming playlist for a lot of reasons, but I especially love it because it has been some of my only chances to show off to the world my funny and interesting friends, who a lot of which technically haven't exactly accomplished anything for you to find that interesting or find that cool. But it doesn't matter. Not every friend has to be a connection who can do something really cool and creative to be cool and creative in my book. I have a lot of friends who I have known for years and just found to be some of the funniest people and most chill people I've ever known. And they do have their own projects that they try to work on, even if it's not something, they're not always things that I can imagine my fans or viewer base to really care about in the slightest. I still would love, or I would love to show them off more because they have been a light in my world, and I have hoped that all the people that I know who are just so fun to be around, that their amazing dynamics between them can give some sort of amusement and show just how good of people they are to anyone who happens to stumble across the videos on my channel. And I I do kind of wish I could make more videos for the non-rhythm gaming playlist. I do not have much to do for it. Um I believe I've talked about basically everything. Like basically everything, like ever. Um Oh, also, I'm really confused. Really confused. I'm getting like no views anymore, like at all. Like it's just like I had a huge up and then just brrr, which is so sad because I feel like lately I've been making some of my best videos by my own opinion of like the most like interesting things, like heckin' Terraria Calamity mod songs with cool artwork and goofy like titles and quotes, and they're like really fun, hard Osumania charts that I feel like a lot of people would like to see, and like no one makes videos on. So it would be like a monopoly, and it's like 4 views, and like a lot of other things of just actually really good songs, even for most songs on my channel that have no views. Doing things like playing really amazing things my friends have made, my more like highly creative friends, like pretty much just things by Chachino Wrath. There's just like really high quality things that are like sometimes even F things that are like really like even like why did no one watch weeks 6 and 7 of Tunin? They're like the best weeks quality wise and just objectively in general. And they have the craziest funny difficulty that everyone likes to look at or whatever. It's like they're just so good. And yet like no one's watching them when like 5 times as many people watched the like early week ones from like a year ago. Or maybe it's more like half a year ago. I don't think it is like a year ago. It's just I'm very confused. And it makes it very strange because I'm uploading a lot and it's just not doing it. I'm really confused by it. Like, hold on. I feel like there was something else I did that was interesting. Dude, Lycanthrope from funny FNF Ardolf mod thing qualified for Osumania to be ranked. I make a video of it. It has cool like SV stuff. It's just a good song in general. Like it's the first FNF mod to ever do that. I get a like decent like place in the top 50, decent-ish in the top 50 where I'm shown like globally on the leaderboard on the side. And like no one cares. Bro, the thumbnail looks so clickable for paired as an epic game ability kids. I'm just baby raging. But like why is no dude, one of my videos has Mr. Beast in it and the goofiest title known to man. And even that is like barely gotten views. What happened? And then like there's even like a dev thing of myself. It's just like what is happening? What happened? Anyways, sorry, yeah, I'm just going I'm gonna go. Shout outs to Simple